Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode of the Metro Machines podcast. As you can visually see, but if you're one of our audio listeners, our many audio listeners, we do appreciate you. Check us out on Spotify like you have been. You can also subscribe there. It's pretty cool. We are in the car, actively driving back home after a silly little 4 p.m. decision we made. Not even 48 hours ago.
Not quite. 46 hours ago.
Yikes. Anyway, we're going to hit the intro. Check out this footage of us driving home in the middle of nowhere. Put it here. Do it. Go. Hit the button. All right.
Welcome to the Metro Machines podcast. Here we go.
Alright, so, we're in the car. We are not in the Eric-mobile, we're in the Sammy-mobile. Wanda is driving, Sammy's in the back. I'm the prettiest passenger princess right now.
Or like Pillow Princess.
There's only one in here.
We will never know.
With your own pillow.
We will never know.
We will never know unless we buy you a hooker. Anyway, we don't want to record the podcast at the normal time this week because he's going to be a cranky bitch, I'm going to be a cranky bitch, and we need a night to reset. So we're doing this on the road as we drive, so it sounds a little wonky. Apologize, we'll do our best. So, fun story time, in fact. I was supposed to DJ an event this past weekend. Well, snow happens in northwest Iowa, and snow destroys plans. So I straight up told them, hey, call me the minute you don't know. Or the minute you know. Call me, say it, tell me it's canceled. If it's canceled, I have plans contingent. From there, went on every flight thing I could find flights, all that. Turns out there are a couple grand to leave. Because I had this crazy-ass idea that I wanted to go to San Antonio, Texas to check out the Royal Rumble. Had this planned months ago, but I got this gig, so I was like, I'd rather make money.
Side note, oil.
Well, we'll be passing things and pointing things out as we're driving. But I was like, fuck it, we gotta go to the Royal Rumble. Logistical problem. It's gonna snow a lot, so I either had to leave Friday night, or I had to get a hotel in Sioux Falls, or I had to go Friday night to either an airport 3 hours south or 4 hours north, which also sounds absolutely awful, and then it would involve a hotel room in both directions, so that wasn't going to happen. So I call him while he's at work. I was like, hey, if I pay for the gas, do you want to go to the Royal Rumble? Can start a 30-minute conversation of
made
me.
It very difficult for me to finish the last 2 hours of my work time.
I'm that friend. Commenced like a 30-minute conversation about finding tickets, looking at tickets, communicating, figure out vehicles, who's going where, when, what. Well, anyway, we shake it down. I convince him, I buy the tickets live on the video call, like, hey, we committing to this, we're committing to this. We in, we good, we doing it. Fast forward to 4.5 hours later, and we drove 16 hours through the night, got 3 hours of rest, and went to WWE's Royal Rumble, which, bucket list item, check, done. Us and 51,000 other nerds flocked to the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas.
Excuse me, as I pull off my shirt.
Oh, I was there. Evidence he's a dork and probably a born-again virgin. Probably. Is. But before we talk about the Royal Rumble, because now you know where we went, what we did, we hit we went to Buc-ee's 4 times in 36 hours. And if you think that's me being ashamed of that, it's not.
I want to.
Loved every second of it. That beaver stole over $100 of my money. Not including gas.
think the Beaver took 50.
Ward, I think you were a little hard on the Beaver. Anyway, so did that a bunch. I didn't get any barbecue in Texas because it lets me down every single time. We had a ton of food, a lot of gas station food. Shout out Loves for being an OG. Anyway, shout out to the Kansas Turnpike for forcing us to use you, but not staffing a staffed booth. So now we might get a ticket in the mail for not being able to cash in this damn thing. Literally pulled up to the booth, it says it's open, and nobody was there, so I think we caught the guy on a poop break or something. So we sat there for 4 minutes, and we're like, you know what? Yeet!
I was going to say, let's just be clear on that. We waited for, I think it was longer than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, we even backed up at one point to be like, is this...
Yeah, to verify the green light was on? Yeah, nada. So, thanks, Kansas. Assholes. Just kidding.
We'll see if we can pay it on the way back.
What's up, though? We're actually deadheading right now. We're on that same stretch, so we're about to get on the Kansas Turnpike for the same thing. It's a great road. Fantastic road. But, fucking, couldn't pay our toll. Anyway, nothing else exciting happened for once. Nothing else exciting. It was just driving. It was me, an audiobook, and 2 passenger princesses sleeping, which is gorgeous. And
knock on wood if you can find some. We're not done yet driving.
Well, we had a low tire alarm, which we knew
that's
about.
True.
And that's okay. And we stole hipsters' air, because they paid for the compressor to be on. We just literally pulled in right behind them. So, Wanda got redemption from our Texas trip story. He managed to go through Oklahoma not once. Oklahoma City, not once. Twice. Deuces. And paid $0 in tolls. Because he didn't go around on
Because I blew through all of them.
Because we fucking just yeeted to no. No, he went straight through the city like you're supposed to. Instead of going.
And I did figure out where it was. It was the turnpike there in Oklahoma is called Kilpatrick Turnpike. And somehow I managed on that bitch and found 3 tolls. So.
In one city.
Also, people in Texas are fucking insane with driving. Like, I'm gonna out myself slightly. I don't even give a shit because by the time this is out, I won't be driving. But I was following Texans through road construction roads, and the road construction speed limit is 65, and I'm following the crowd going like 81 through road construction.
Correct. Texans don't give a shit.
That's fucking insane.
Not a single shitter.
Now, don't get me wrong. There was not workers working, so I mean, you would have been fine. But yeah, you're still going fucking 15 miles an hour over the speed limit.
I think we're at roughly averaging 6 to 10 miles per hour over the limit.
Oh yeah.
We gained about an hour driving down doing that. It's pretty cool. Made up for all the stops.
I go fast, mama.
We're doing it. Yeah, anyway, we got down there, no worries. We got food, we got In-N-Out. How'd you like In-N-Out? First try?
It's not bad. Claus gave me the secrets of the In-N-Out, of the animal style double-double. And, yeah, I was happy with it. That fucking scarfed that burger down. The fries sucked ass.
Yep, as they do.
They're fucking terrible.
Yeah, the In-N-Out fry fanboy is, I don't get it.
Like, they give you the salt to put on it, but it's like, I want to put the salt on as the grease is, like, either drying off or dripping off, so the salt stays on the fucking french fry.
Yeah.
And I'm not asking you to fucking just dump fucking a cup of salt on it. I'm just saying fucking just...
Big fucking salt crystals. No, I'm just kidding.
Salt that bitch.
Salt that. Anyway, got there, ate, slept, nap, got dropped off at the Alamo Dome. Wandered our way in, happened to wander past the table we needed to get to, but there was no signage for.
And before we even got into the building, I dropped my debit card. That was great.
Oh yeah, we were taking a sign, and him taking his phone out, he managed to drop his debit card, and a nice man's like, hey, you dropped this.
I was very impressed. That man didn't have no reason to give that to me.
Yep. He could have went in there and bought the entire merch booth. Just ping. But he didn't. Oh. Well, we made our wristbands because we're fancy bitches. We bought expensive seats, sat on the floor, accidentally got on the camera. Like, we are on the camera.
Didn't even realize we were on the hard cam side.
A lot.
There was a spot in the Women's Royal Rumble match where Lacey Evans was taunting the crowd, and you could see me behind her. I blurred out really badly, but you could tell it was me. Like, the second I realized it was me, I was like, gang, gang.
Gang, gang. So we get in. We have to get in this special pit. It takes forever. We run into a TikTok star, which is fun. I'll insert his picture here. I think I creeped him out because I looked at him like more than once.
It took us a second to realize who it was.
Yeah, I was like, listen. So with getting in there, we made the same mistake every fan makes when they go to an event, whether it be a rock concert or a WWE event. We went straight for the merch booth, so we have to hold our shit literally the entire time.
But it's better to do it that way anyways, because if you try and do it afterwards, well, for one, the store was closed outside the arena once we got out of the arena.
Yeah.
And the only way you would have gotten, otherwise is probably during a match.
Yeah,
otherwise, you pretty much kind of had to...
On a match with a 5-card match, technically. We got big-ass chains. Love this shit, it's stupid. And he got a shirt and I bought a hat, which I had to text the owner of the hat because I bought it on somebody's hat. I was like, hey, I'm going to wear this. It might be a little sweaty, but... Sorry. So we get going. No pre-show, no announcements, nothing. We're sitting there, bodies packing in. Wanda and I are sitting in chairs meant for petite people.
We did a really good job though in the beginning. I'm just close with you.
Yeah.
We did a really. I mean, it wasn't jam packed right away when we got there. Nobody really kind of showed up in our aisle until like 10 minutes before it closed or before the show started.
Yep.
So I mean, we still had some pretty good space up until the show actually started. Then it got jam packed.
All the nerds close together, nut to butt, sweating and touching each other. I had 5 hours of continuous human contact, and it drove me batshit crazy.
The crazy part is that, like, I thought, I'm a pretty big nerd with wrestling, but then you go there and you see some of the people that are there, and it's just like, holy shit. This guy in front of us had a high head of ego on him. I don't want to say it's about as bad as yours, but...
Fuck you.
But, like, this guy was like, oh, yeah, Booker T trained me, and this and that. I've got the insides and out, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, he gave us a couple rumors of who was going to be in the Royal Rumble, and he only got one right, and that was Logan Paul. Otherwise, he said Stone Cold and The Rock were going to be in it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't believe that one.
So we actually get to the show. First thing that happens, Pat McAfee comes back. Shout out.
Literally the start of the show.
Literally. So they didn't even announce Michael Cole, who's been there since almost the beginning.
Which is crazy because usually they do entrances for the announcers.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it for this one.
They were sneaking people in and out of that back production, the corral.
They sure were.
5-card match. We'll go over them real quick. All right, and we'll give our opinion on it.
Our ratings.
Our opinion and our favorite part of it. How about that? 2-part answer on each one. Sound fair? First one up was the men's 30-man men's Royal Rumble. If you know what a Royal Rumble is, 2 people start every 2 to 3 minutes, depending on if anything's cool happening or not.
And if the spots are done yet.
Yeah, if the spots are done, spots being planned moves. If the spots aren't done, they extend the time. If the spots aren't done, they hurry But anyway, started out with Gunther, who's supposed to be German, and Sheamus, who is in fact a very large Irish man, and they beat the ever-loving shit out of each other for 3 minutes. Fantastic. And then I couldn't tell you the order.
No, not at all.
But we will tell you the finish. So spoiler alerts if you haven't watched it yet, or if you haven't watched the news or whatever. The final 2 ended up being the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and Gunther. So Gunther actually went coast to coast. He came in as first, and he was second to last out. Heck of a finish. Really awesome. Go check it out if you want the visuals on it. But A lot of nerds pissed off that Cody Rhodes won. We all knew it was going to happen, but I enjoyed the process anyway. So my favorite part, honestly, and it might be yours, so I might steal it. Logan Paul, yes, that Logan Paul from YouTube, and a guy named Ricochet, who is just kind of a cruiserweight, smaller guy, but known to do very agile things like Logan Paul. They were standing on the apron outside of the ring looking at each other. They decided to springboard on the rope and then springboard at each other and did a double, so bounce, did a double clothesline about 10 feet in air and then, knocked each other out. But yeah, I thought it was great. My opinion is it was great, and that was my favorite part. Wanda, what was your favorite part?
I mean, honestly, my favorite part, just in general, was just like, from being in crowd perspective, the whole thing kind of was my favorite part. Like, being there with the crowd, doing the countdown and all that stuff. Not necessarily a favorite part of the match because
favorite spot, yeah.
Because it was fun reacting to superstars that were coming out. So like, obviously when Edge came out, I was losing my shit. Obviously you figured out Cody was coming out 30 after so long at that point. But no, from a crowd perspective, just being in there and interacting with the crowd, with other fans that are big fans of it, that's my favorite part. As for the match part, I really don't have a favorite. I would think I probably would say just being able to see Edge's entrance. I would probably say that was it because that was one of the things that I wanted to see. I wanted to see Edge one more time before he retires.
Because he's done it in 6 months.
Yeah.
And they gave him pyro.
Oh, the pyro was fucking cool. God, I love that so much.
Point at the sign, everything blows up.
And then it rained ash on him.
Yeah, well, we have a bonus thing that happened. Anyway, the next match, which, most of you don't know wrestling, it's called a cooldown match. So cooldown matches either happen directly after something that was super hot or directly before something that is super hot, and honestly, it's so the crowd can go take a piss and grab another beer, so they don't miss the part they actually like. I hate to say it, and generally they make them women's championship matches.
Which is not all the time.
Not all the time.
No, that one very much was a filler match because,
no build.
There just wasn't anything, there that felt exciting about it. The only thing exciting about that match with Bianca and Alexa, because that was the second match.
The Pitch Black was the second match.
You sure?
Yep. It went Pitch Black, women's championship, women's Royal Rumble, tribal chief shit.
Oh, I thought Alexa and Bianca was second.
No. They did it after because they had to strip the ring. So, next up, they did a Pitch Black match, which basically means they made everything neon, and they made visuals really cool, and then they had a bunch of after stuff because there's this big monster character who is called Bray Wyatt, and they're creating this whole universe around him. Fantastic match. The UV visuals, it was perfect. It was perfect visuals. My favorite part is where a character did a 2-story dive, missed his target, but there was a shitload of pyro.
And fire.
That was my favorite part. Otherwise, it was a mid-match, but it was visually what it was supposed to be. Same for you?
Yeah. They were on point for everything, and then how they did that with Bray Wyatt, like they didn't use the Fiend. They kind of brought a new character slight thing out of Bray. It was more of a demon-like character, where his eyes grew red, and his mouth also kind of grew red. I don't know what he did to his mouth, but
it looked like chalk.
It looked good.
His face paint was black and gray, but when you put the UV on it, it was red and a bunch of other colors. So it was really cool. Next up was the Women's Championship match.
I didn't have a favorite part.
Because, they did come out fucking swinging. Like, they just started brawling.
Yeah.
And then...
Which, that's because Alexa's going psycho.
Yeah.
Turn it back to her.
Actually, my favorite part is the end, when they did storytelling at a pay-per-view versus just, ending the match. Which is what they typically do with females. Dumbly.
No, I'm very curious to see how they bring Alexa into that.
Plot twist, she's banging Uncle Howdy. After that...
Make it a demon baby.
Yeah. After that, they tried to fix, was the women's 30-woman Royal Rumble. Started out with our number one pick to win it all, Rhea Ripley. Crushing it. And then, who was number 2? Liv. She made the last 3. So, on both Royal Rumbles, the second person, or people who started the match, made it all the way to the end. Rhea Ripley won the match. My favorite part, honestly, was Dark Asuka debuting.
That was good.
We've been waiting for that from New Japan. Yep. So good. And I liked it. It was a good match. The ending was perfect. The ending is exactly what it should have been. It got stagnant at times because some of those wrestlers aren't strong enough to do the spots they were trying to do.
You started with those first 2, and then it was just dead for like almost half the match.
Yep.
You get a couple here, little pops here and there from for Roxanne from NXT,
yep.
and a little stuff here, but it just died. And then finally, when Becky Lynch came out at 15, that was when the fucking roof came off,
yep.
and then it was like, okay, that's when fucking Becky is fucking over.
They didn't let Carmella come in. They didn't let Charlotte come in.
Well, Charlotte's got a championship.
I mean, still, but she could pull a Brock Lesnar.
Right, and I mean, that could have been said for Bianca, too.
No.
I don't know, usually champions
Alexa
are not in the
came
Rumble
in.
for that reasoning. Usually.
Brock is the exception always.
Brock was an exception because they really had nothing planned for him, so they just were like, you know what, get in the Rumble, fucking just cause havoc.
Start it and eliminate half the field.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, the biggest blooper of the night, after 59 successful clock countdowns and entrances, the
29.
production... No, including the men's.
Oh, yes.
There was 59 total successful entrances. They fucked up the 30th one for the women's, and it was an important return. And, yeah, it ruined the pop.
I don't want to say they ruined it, because it was just kind of like everybody sitting down, and then all of a sudden, I'm not like those girls. It's like just fucking hit.
Yeah.
It was just like, the fuck?
It's like, it was great. I hope they make her an actual monster this time instead of an emotionally damaged child. Which is the only reason she got over last time.
I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, but unless she took a lot of training, while she's been off.
She hasn't. She gained a lot of weight. Not attacking her body image. It's just she was on a path to be a lot leaner and more aggressive and agile because she's known to hurt people. So with her being a size she was before, she's not going to be as agile or adaptive with smaller athletes. It's just a performance issue with her size. So,
I'm very happy with how they made Piper Niven look like.
Oh, brought her back.
They did a really good job with her.
Dropped her stupid ass Dewdrop name. Stupid. And Chelsea Green came back and was promptly eliminated in 1 second.
Broke a world record.
Yep.
Or a Rumble record.
Took the Rumble record from Santino.
I don't know if it was from them just in general, but I think it was for the women's.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's pretty impossible to get someone out in 2 seconds like they did with Santino.
The boot. Boot.
Literally got in, boom, out.
Yeah.
Like, fucking rolled out.
She at least got to walk across the ring.
Yeah.
Fast forward to an awkward 10-minute break where they take every rope out of the ring, set up a band with no microphones, and the person who wrote the theme song performed the song with more pyro in 3 minutes than they used on the entire show, enough that it was raining ash on us about 40 rows back.
Yeah, that was completely unexpected with that fucking concert. I'm like, this was unnecessary. We did not need this.
No,
we could have been out of there by like, what, 11? Because the concert was at 10:30, wasn't it?
It was at 10. And then they did everything.
I don't know.
They should have opened with it. If they were going to do if they did the musical guest, they should have opened with it. Like they have in years past. Or done the pre-show.
But according to Twitter and social media, on TV, it sounded like shit, supposedly. To me, it didn't bother me, but
Why is it having you exit?
I don't know.
Go straight.
Good catch, but I didn't even hear
Is your
that.
eco mode on?
Probably.
Yeah, we gotta figure out what's up with that.
Well, good thing I wasn't paying attention to that then.
We'll use this technical difficulty to hear a moment from our sponsors. So
Yeah, we're back.
concert unnecessary. It probably did sound like shit because he was the only thing live. The drummer didn't sync at all. I was counting his snare beats. Anyway, it is what it is. Some of the crowd really enjoyed it, and I get it.
If you were there, it was fine.
It was fine.
It was just weird because I'm there for wrestling. I wasn't there for a Hardy,
Party concert.
So, I mean, the song is great. The song, like, if you listen to the song recorded, not live, the song's great.
Yeah, it was a good theme. It was a good pick, honestly. But they played to the side with the least amount of fans because of the hard cam. So all we saw was the back of the drummer's head. And the drummer was about a foot away from all that pyro.
Yeah.
That had to have been hot.
That had been real hot.
So cue another 15 minutes of re-prepping the ring. Into our main event, Kevin Owens versus the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Entrances took forever because that's what they do. Had to hold our hand up for at least 10 minutes, acknowledging the Tribal Chief. Match was fine. My least favorite thing about the match is when Kevin Owens was getting slammed into the steel steps with no protective move. So, like, if they would have mistimed that, or he would have moved 2 inches up or down, he would have legitimately cracked his skull open for a rebound.
I mean, the first one, he did hit his head on the edge of the steps.
Yeah. But, again, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. Roman Reigns won. What was your favorite part of the match? Not including the after shit. We'll talk about it.
I don't give a fuck if we ruin spoilers for people. By the time this comes out, it's been fucking almost like 4 days after.
2 days. He's being dramatic.
But, no, my favorite part is the cinematics. I love the storyline afterward. You fucking dickbag. I have to fucking slow down now.
Look at Gone.
My precious. No, the cinematics at the end of the Sami Zayn story. I'm very curious where this is going to go. I'm hoping this is a potential another Daniel Bryan situation.
Oh, yeah.
Where potentially we might get Sami Zayn winning the title at Mania. At least maybe winning one of them, not both of them. And then Cody gets night 2. I think that's what makes sense in this right now, because I think the original story was The Rock versus Roman, but I think with how well the Sami Zayn story is going, I think they're
pivoted.
They're very much going to be Sami Zayn might win the WWE title in WrestleMania. If not, him and KO will team up and take the titles from the Usos.
Also, Jay bailed.
Yeah, I know that. I'm interested in what that's going to happen there, because they both have the titles. So if Jay doesn't want to fight, then what do you do?
Thunderbirds. Look it up. Yeah. And then we had to leave. And
It fucking took forever to get out of there.
there was a couple thousand. It had to have been maybe 5,000 people sitting on the floor, all going up 4 exit lanes. So Wanda and I just sat there.
We just sat. There was no point in standing. Just rest.
If you've ever been to a packed concert, you understand.
That is probably, I would probably say that is probably the biggest event I've ever been to with that many people. I don't think I've ever been to an event with 50,000 people there. 51,000 to be correct. And I predicted that. I was like, I think we'll probably see 50,000 at the event. I was pretty sold on it. So, and it came out. I have never seen someone do that before. That is incredible.
That was a cool rig.
Fucking towing a semi and a vehicle
And a truck on the
middle
deck.
of them. That's impressive.
On the deck bridge. We have ADD. Got out, had to walk about a mile to where Sammy was parked. Unfortunately, he had to sit 2 hours because I don't think I've ever seen a WWE event exceed time more than maybe 15 minutes. Like, WrestleMania excluded.
Yeah,
Because
I would agree
that's
with
its own
that.
monster.
I would agree with
Every
that.
other one, which there's like 10 to 11 every year on top of WrestleMania, they end at the 3-hour mark.
Which is why it surprised me they started at 7, because I thought they would have started at 6. because the rumble itself, pending on rushing and stuff like that, you're guaranteed at least an hour even with rushing.
Yep.
Because from the looks of it, the men's took an hour and a half, and the women's, I think, was about the same. So
they gave them equal time.
You've got 3 hours right there, so if you start at 7, it's 10 o'clock. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't start at 6, but that's their thought process, not mine.
The final match didn't start until about 10:20. They didn't wrap up until after 11. Like, I saw someone bitching on Twitter because they're from the far edges of Canada or whatever. It was midnight when Hardy performed for them.
Gonna go fuck a goat again.
He's gonna fuck a goat again. That's what I heard. It was all delayed. Whatever. We got out. My girlfriend, being very considerate, was like, "Hey, I programmed a Whataburger in for you because I love Whataburger and I wanted to get it as a midnight snack before we went to sleep." We went to 2 or 3 Whataburgers. They were all getting demolished by WWE fans. I could smell them from the car. There was a Denny's, like, on the parking lot area.
God damn it.
Oh, they're out. Shout out NFC. Shout out 49ers. Anyway, there was a Denny's on the parking lot, and it was packed, and there was a line around the building with everyone trying to get into the same Denny's. 51,000 people trying to enter the same Denny's all at once.
We were tempted to call in and be like, "What's your wait time?"
Yeah, what's your wait time? Same thing for the IHOP.
Closing.
Trying to leave downtown because the cops completely fucked up their one-way street system for, like, getting people around. But, yeah, what should have been a 15-minute trip turned into a 45-minute trip. Went home, slept. We've been driving since 5 a.m. Went to Buc-ee's, spent more money, been eating food nonstop. He went to Arby's and is being an asshole.
For the record, I was not expecting a large to be this massive.
What did you expect when he said large?
Like, the fucking McDonald's ones. McDonald's look like that.
They don't fuck around. They don't come home. Yeah, so thank you to Amanda for letting us crash at your spot. That made everything better so we didn't have to sleep in the car. Because as much as we love car sleeping, I'm running on 5 hours of sleep. Good times.
The little princess over here is running on probably 8, so.
Who? Back there?
Me.
You? Oh, yeah. Because you got to sleep, and then you got to sleep the first leg.
I got at least 4 at Amanda's house, and then at least 3 or 4 again on the road. So I'm doing okay. I'm fine.
I got Whataburger in the morning. Everyone else slept while I was doing shenanigans around Texas. And now we're in Kansas, and we're going to be dead tomorrow, but the podcast is going to be up. I want to take this moment to also thank everyone on YouTube. Anyone who shares us on social media, don't do that. Demonetize. We're just kidding. We're not monetized anyway. Thank you for sharing, growing the channel. Appreciate y'all. Every time you interact, anyone interacts with it, it's hilarious. It's so good.
Every time you like, subscribe, or any of that, you get closer to seeing my penis.
No, they're going to unsubscribe. Keith's parents listen to this. God damn you.
Well, I'm flaccid.
But yeah, seriously, thanks guys. We're trying to be awake right now, and it's hard.
It is super fucking dirty.
He said that about Texas, and now he's saying it about Kansas. I'm sure he said it about
Oklahoma. Fucking like Dust Bowl every other 2 weeks. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But yeah, we appreciate y'all. Thank you. Track of the day. What's Cody Rhodes' theme song? It's an actual song, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yes.
All right. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but we're going to put it in the show notes when we find it.
Find song title here.
Yeah. If those of you watching us, listening, you'll have to look in the show notes. Speaking of show notes, in the show notes there's actually a link if you want to subscribe. It helps us out. Helps us do dumb shit. And, like this. Cool adventures and nonsense.
Preferably find closer trips.
Yeah, ones that aren't 16 linear hours away. Anyway, this is the Metro Machines podcast. Thanks for listening to this adventure recap. We'll be back to our normally scheduled programming next week in studio. Eric will be there. We're going to have fun. We'll probably make fun of him. And I will be jacked out of my mind on energy drinks, as is tradition, the way we like it. And that being said, catch this is the Metro City podcast. We'll catch you down the road.
Suck my ass. There's your closing.
I'm leaving this in.
Fuck you! I'm driving.
I was just fucking imagining me getting into a fender bender on here, but it's facing the wrong way, and it's just our reaction like, fuck! Alright, watch this footage of us teleporting back to Iowa, and we might kill you.